Hello, everybody. Welcome to our advanced band live stream. Hope everybody is having a great day and has had a great few days, or whenever it is since the last time you've tuned in. But we're very happy to be here for another live stream band class. In a second, I'm going to show you the activities we're going to be doing today. We have something new, something old, some familiar things, and some new and fun things to do. First thing I want to do is welcome Dennis, who's here as always. Hi, Dennis.
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
Great. So everybody say hi to Dennis there in the chat. Again, we have our friends, our moderators in the chat room, Joe and Terry, who will be just helping to moderate and highlight some of your questions. If you guys have questions, feel free to throw them out. If you have a shout out for your school, or if you're a teacher or a student and you want to get your school a little shout out, go ahead and do that. And we'll do as many shout outs as we can. And of course, ask questions as we go. We're going to be playing a lot, but I'm going to stop sort of periodically and just take a couple questions. So let me show you the sheet music we're going to be using today. So what we're going to do is, of course, the link to all of our sheet music that we use, as always, is provided in the description of this video. But if you, for some reason, have trouble finding it, all you have to do is go to drselfridgemusic.com/Livestream Advanced Band. That's all one word, okay? And actually, if you go to my website, just the front page, you will see right here a link, Livestream Advanced Band. There we go. So let's take a look at what we're going to do today, all right? I hope you have your instruments out. If you don't have an instrument, you can still follow along. I sometimes tell my students who don't have an instrument, a lot of my high school students, unfortunately, whoops, I dropped my pencil. A lot of my high school students, because our school closing kind of came with no warning, I have a number of my high school students still don't have their instruments available. But we make the best of it. If you don't have an instrument, you can use a pencil and just practice your fingerings along with us, just review your fingerings. And here's the sheet music we're going to play. We're going to do this new, this is the warm-up we've done before, the Circle of Fourths worksheet. Just a good way to warm up and go over your circle of keys, right? If we go all the way around the circle, we've learned all 12 possible notes on our instrument, and you can play them in any octave you want. Then we're going to go to a new thing where we're going to talk about arpeggios, okay? And then here's some other stuff you can practice. We have our video game tunes. We have this awesome new band piece we're going to be doing, America the Beautiful, which is, I'll tell you all about that, but it's a great arrangement. It's a lot of fun to play. We have our piece we've been doing for the past couple weeks. Let's see, and Mystery Song Challenge. All right, well, let's jump right in, okay? We're going to go right to our Circle of Fourths worksheet. So click on that link and click on the instrument that is your instrument. I'm going to pull up clarinet. I'll be playing clarinet today. You can pull up any instrument that is appropriate for you, and we're going to use our play along here. So let's find our play along track. So get ready. We're going to start with the whole notes. We're going to go straight through our whole notes, our half notes, and our quarter notes. And you're going to hear a click, click, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to play this together. Okay? So let me find my track here. Just a second. Make sure you got your instrument ready. And we'll be ready in just 1 second here. My computer's not cooperating. Dennis, while we're getting set, do we have any school shout-outs?
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear some school shout-outs.
Hey, have Lewiston Porter Middle School, Garnet Valley Middle School.
Okay.
I don't know where they're from. Carson Middle School, Brazosport High School, Massobesic Middle School, Boyertown Middle School, and Richview Middle School.
Okay. Thank you for those shout-outs. That's great. We'll do more of those later. All right. I finally have my music ready. We're going to jump right into our Circle of Fourths, so get your instrument ready. Ready? Start with our whole notes. And 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. half notes. Quarter notes. Here we go. All right. Hopefully everybody got all the way through that. And actually, I saw a question pop up on the live stream chat here, and our friend Mike Hamilton, who's one of our most loyal watchers and followers. Mike says, does the circle of fourths have all the notes on it for my alto sax, or is it just certain notes and I have to add in the missing ones? Okay, Mike, good question. The circle of fourths is every note that you have. There are only really 12 different notes on any instrument. It's just you can play them in different octaves, and some notes have two names, which is why it might seem like there's more than 12 notes. But there's only 12 notes. So if you start, wherever you start on the circle, for alto sax for these exercises, you're starting on a G, G, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. You go all the way around, and that's every note in your sax. You can choose a different octave, like a high B or a low B. We don't count those really as different notes. Okay. So let's go to we're still on this page. Let's go back to our next activity. We did our circle of fourths warm-up. Okay, so this would be a good one to ask you guys in the chat. To see if you can answer some questions for me. First of all, can anyone tell me, while I'm getting our music ready, what is an arpeggio? Do you know what an arpeggio is? And if you know what an arpeggio is, I'm going to give you a shout out on the live stream here. Arpeggio is something that we practice, and they are related to scales. Okay, so arpeggios are related to scales. While we're waiting for your answer, I want you to go ahead and find your copy of the sheet music for major arpeggios and chords. So find your sheet music. I'm going to look here in our chat to see who's answered our question. Let's see if anyone gets the answer what an arpeggio is. While I'm looking for those answers, you guys are going again to drselfridgemusic.com, Livestream Advanced Band, and click on major arpeggios and chords. Okay, this is where you want to be. Click on your instrument. I'll click on alto sax. All right, so let's go back to the chat and let's see if anyone got the answer. Oh, good, okay. So Natalia Bradley says the first, third, fifth notes, and she says, I don't know, LOL. Natalia, you got it. You got the right answer. Dylan Brown says a broken chord. That's correct. It's like you play a chord, but we break it up individually. A chord is 1, 3, 5 out of the major scale or the minor scale. 1, 3, 5 out of minor, but we're doing major. Who else got the answer? Jason Nguyen, a note of chords. Okay, you're on the right track there. Gamester guy got it. Root third, fifth. Yep. And yeah, you can go up and down. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Great. Good job with all your answers there. Mike got it. 1, 3, 5. Gamester got it, right? Okay, so let's go back to, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's get you on your sheet music here. All right, so you hopefully at this point are on your copy of the music, and we're going to play through this whole thing. Let's play the first one. So measure 1 is, it's going to be different for every instrument, but it's concert B flat. So everyone play the first measure of the page like this. Let's play that. 1, 2, 3, go. Then you see in the next measure right here a chord. As a band or an ensemble, we could play this chord together. Now, if we were all together in the same room, we could hear a nice chord like this. But you choose whichever one you want. You could play the bottom note, you could play the third note, you could play the fifth note to make our chord. All right? Now, let's look at our next line. We're going to be on measure 5, and we have our new key around our circle of fifths. So measure 5, let's play measure 5. 1, 2, 3, go. Pick a note in the chord. Ready, go. There we go. Let's go on to the next one. Now, these start off kind of easy and they get more and more tricky. So this is advanced band class. So whether you're sort of a couple year player or you're even more advanced if you've been playing for a while, you can just play along and drop out when you are getting confused and see if you can jump back in when you see a note that you recognize. So measure 9, ready? Arpeggio off of our new key. Measure 9. This is concert A flat, by the way. Measure 9. Whatever key it is for you, it's measure 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a note in the chord. Ready, play. There we go. Bring my octave up here. There we go. Yay. All right, next, measure 13. We're getting a little bit more tricky now. Our new key, measure 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a note in the chord. Ready, play. Nice. All right, now we're getting even more further into our flat, the land of flats. We're going to go to measure 17. Gets a little interesting here. It's concert G flat. All right, here we go. 1, 2, measure 17, go. Pick a note in the chord. Ready, breathe. Great. Now here's what we're going to do. Ready? We're going to move on from this because this is something that you can practice this for weeks and weeks and weeks and really work on getting this perfect. But let's just go for it. We're going to start at the beginning and we're going to go all the way through this with our background track. So if you go to the page right here, you see these play-along tracks. We have a play-along track that is a jazzy background track. That's kind of cool. And then we have a concert band style play-along. Let's do the jazzy version, guys. All right? And the only thing with the jazzy version is it's just a jazzy background track. You don't have to do anything jazzy with your rhythms, okay? So we're going to do our jazzy background track. You guys are going to play. Let me bring up, for something different, I'm going to bring up trombone music. Any trombone players out there? Here we go. We're going to go all the way through this whole thing. If you get lost, just do your best. All right. Our full play-along track, jazzy. 1, 2, beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. Now the chord. You just pick a note there. Next line. Play the chord, or any note you want. Measure 9. Here we go. Play the chord. Next line, 13, end. Play the chord. Next line, measure 17. Play the chord. Next line, getting tricky now. Next line, next page. I'm actually going to pause it there because if you might have had some trouble changing the page, okay? We're going to pick it up now on the second page. And we're going to start on measure 29. We just played measure 25. Measure 29, arpeggio. Are you ready? Here we go. 2, ready, and. 2, 3, chord. Next line, measure 33. Chord. Next line, ready, go. Play the chord. Measure 41 and ready, chord. Here's the last one. Measure 45 and play the chord. Very nice, everybody. And again, that background track is on our website. You can download it. You can do either the jazzy version or the concert band version. Why don't we take a second and check in with Dennis? And while we check in with Dennis, everybody, I want you to be going and getting ready to do. Let's do some video. Let's do some video game tunes next, okay? So get your video game tunes sheet ready. And Dennis, do we have a question that we can?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Beckside, I have a question. When you don't remember the notes, but your fingers do, how is it called, and why is this happening on alto sax?
Okay, so
on other instruments.
So I've seen this before, yes, where kids remember, like you see a note and you remember where your fingers go, but you can't remember what the name of the note is. That's very common. I would say the way you do that, the way you get better at that, is you just, like I said, start with something simple, like a simple song with only 3 notes in it, and just practice saying the name of the note, playing it. Say the name of the note, play it. Actually, say the name of the note out loud. It builds that muscle memory, and it helps to cement it there in your brain. I want to get a question here. I think we must have a teacher in the chat, Tim Dignan, and Tim, if you could check in and let us know. I assume you're a teacher. Let us know where you teach if you'd like. But Tim says, I understand the reasoning behind putting the numbers beneath the notes, but that could get confusing for trombone players. So guys, yeah, that's a really good point, Tim. Guys, if you notice I was looking at the trombone music, and so if you're a trombone player or if you're a trumpet player, if you're used to seeing trombone players are used to seeing slide positions, first position, second position, third, fourth. Don't get confused, trombone players. This 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, this is telling you what is the number of the note in the scale. First note of the scale, third note of the scale, fifth note of the scale. They do not correspond to your slide positions, except for 1 on B flat. B flat is 1, but sometimes just by chance they might be the same, but those are not slide positions. That's a great point. Tim. And Dennis, let's do one more question before we do video games.
Okay. There we go. At the top here. Lorena Moser, could 7th grade lads play this music, or is it too difficult?
Could 7th grade students play this music?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So grade level, what really matters is how long you've been playing your instrument and how much you've been practicing. You could be in 7th grade and a beginner, and that's okay. You could be in 7th grade and you've been practicing an hour a day for the past 2 years, and you're going to be really advanced. So it all depends on how much you practice and how long you've been playing. I would say I try to make this advanced band class, I try to make it sort of a variety of challenges from someone who's maybe only been playing a couple years or maybe a year or two, but even someone who's in high school could still get a little bit of a challenge from this. Like when we're doing stuff in all 12 keys, that's a challenge for most people. Okay, so I do also want to give a shout out to Mr. Dignan, who did check in and say he is a teacher from Drew Freeman Middle School, Band and Orchestra. So shout out to Mr. Dignan and Drew Freeman Middle School. If any of those students are watching, shout out to you guys as well. And Lorena Moser says, see you guys, I have to go take care of my horses. I'm really jealous. I would love to have some beautiful horses to take care of. Doesn't that sound nice, Dennis?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe go for a little ride. Okay, so let's go right to the next thing I said we were going to do. I had a question in the chat about did I update my video game tunes? And sadly, I did not have time to add any new video game tunes, but I did do something kind of fun. I created a little bit of a play-along track that we can use. So here's what we're going to do. Let's go to the music. Let me do tenor sax. I haven't played tenor sax in a while. So you guys are going to click on your music for video game tunes. We're going to review Zelda and Minecraft, Sweden, and we're going to do Super Mario Brothers. We're going to do those 3, and then we're going to do, I made this little play along track that we can play along with. That'll be a lot of fun. And Dennis, while we're doing this, you can keep an eye out for any more shout-outs or good questions, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Let me get my tenor sax. So guys, let's look at Lost Woods from Zelda. Do, 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 do. One thing that's important in this song is that you need to do, these notes here. See these little dots? Those are called, who knows what those are called? I bet some of you do. Those are called staccato. Staccato, not staccato, which I've seen before. Staccato. And that means, see my reed works. That's okay. It's a little stuffy. So staccato means, basically the way I explain staccato is, of course, we tongue the note like we always would, but we use a short burst of air, so it's like you're just touching the note. Ta, ta, ta. So we go staccato, staccato, no staccato, so it should be ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. And then we have a slur. So see, it goes tongue, it's slurred into here, but there's a staccato on it too. So some people get confused by that. They're like, does that mean I'm supposed to tongue that note? No, what that means is you slur into the note, into the second note, but you drop off the note with your air right away, so it has a short, it's like you're staccatoing, but you're not tonguing. Like this. Right? My reed is not being very great for me. Oh, let me show you guys what I have here. Any sax or clarinet or oboe players, I have my little mug of water here. And what I do is I have all my reeds. Let me show you my main screen. I have my mug of water here. I have all my reeds that I'm going to use. See, they're dripping because I have them in water. You got to wet your reed. And so I always put a couple extra in there. Like if I have a reed and I end up not liking it, that's what you put extra reeds in there, so you have some backups. You should always have backup reeds. Don't just have one reed that you play until it's like destroyed. You should have backup reeds, like 3 or 4. Some people even rotate their reeds. That's a good thing to do. Oh, so much better. All right, here we go. Let's play number 1 together, everyone, okay? Whatever song you have, whatever part you're looking at, I'm looking at the tenor sax part. Okay, and Mr. Dignan says he has heard the term taco before. I like tacos. Who doesn't like tacos? Everybody likes tacos. All right, number 1. Da, da, da. Let's play it together. Ready? This is under tempo. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, so that's a fun one to play to keep it really light and bouncy, okay? I'm going to hit a couple questions here. While I'm answering these questions, I want you guys to look at number 2, Sweden from Minecraft. And it looks like in the chat, Dennis, it looks to me in the chat that I don't see many people that are having trouble finding the music, which is good. Are you seeing any of that?
No. That seems to have gone away.
Awesome. Okay. So Sweden from Minecraft, everybody. That's the question I was going to answer. Mike Hamilton checked in again and said, Mike, I know you and a lot of people have, it can be tricky to play along with a play along track because all that extra sound can get you confused. You get off beat. I would just say try a good halfway point between nothing and a play along track is use a metronome. Set the metronome to the same tempo that the play along track is on. So practice playing with a metronome. Ta, ta. That's a circle of fourths. And then once you can stay with that metronome, put on the play along track and don't listen to the play along track, all the extra notes in it. Just listen for the beat. Try to hear where the metronome pulse is inside because there's a metronome pulse that's, whether it's a real metronome or it's just a feeling of the beat going by, you can keep up with the play along track like that. Okay. There's a lot of great questions today, guys. I'm looking at the chat. All right, let's play Sweden, everybody. I'm gonna pick up my clarinet. Now this one is pretty slow. It's really slow. Quarter note equals 48, right? That's what I saw online for the tempo. That might be too slow, but let's play it kind of close to that, like 1. Da 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 da. What is that? That's probably like 60 actually. 1 da da da. Let's play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest. I want to talk about this rhythm. And by the way, sorry, ignore that random double bar that doesn't belong there. That's something I need to fix in my next update. This rhythm, dotted quarter note and then 2 16th notes. A dotted quarter note is a beat and a half. So it's 3. So this is 1. These 2 eighth notes are 2 and 3. That dot lands on beat 4. 3, 4, tika da. 3, 4, and 1. All right? That's basically how that goes. All right, let's play the second line. Second line, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Rest. Very nice. All right, let's play Super Mario Brothers. While we're getting Super Mario Brothers ready, Dennis, any question I can get to real quick? Oop. We got you muted, Den, so see if you can unmute. Sorry about that. Whenever you're ready. Oh, go for it.
Okay. This one is, well, it's not so much of a question, I guess, but I play clarinet, but during the quarantine, I started teaching myself flute. I'm trying to get a sax, too. This is Natalia Bradley.
Oh, okay.
And, is that to encourage people to do that?
Yeah, I mean, so I've got students, if you're looking for a new challenge, and you have an instrument at home, you can go ahead and try a new instrument. Flute and clarinet and sax are very similar, so that's a cool thing. So good for you, Natalia, for trying new instruments out. Some of my students who have their instruments stuck at school have been, I know one student has been working on piano again because their family has a piano at their house. So they've been teaching themselves piano. So that's pretty cool. Or ukulele or guitar. All right, let's play Super Mario Brothers, everybody. I'm going to switch over to flute for this one. So everyone get ready for Super Mario Brothers. I'm going to go back and click on flute. And let's go about this speed. Bop, 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 bop. Dot, 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 dot. So the subdivision of this rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've got tricky rhythms, you have to subdivide. You have to think of the eighth notes, 1 and 2 and you have to think of the 16th notes, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and dot, 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 dot. Let's try it. 1, 2, Super Mario, go. So that one's got some tricky rhythms to it. So you always want to slow things down if you're having trickiness with the rhythms. Okay, here's what we're going to do, everybody. We're going to play with my play-along track that I said I have for video game tunes. It's going to go through Zelda, Sweden, Super Mario Brothers with just a click in between. Ready to try it? And Zelda's kind of fast. Super Mario Brothers is kind of fast too. Let's do our best. Here comes the count in, and starting with number 1. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4. Next line. Now, much slower. 1. Here it comes. It's very slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Next line, rest. And 1. Whew. That one is super slow. All right, now we're going to be fast. Sort of fast. And ready, go. Oof. Wow. All right. I haven't practiced that one on piano. Okay, so next time we'll do some more video game tunes. We will add a new one. And if you have a request for a specific video game tune, go ahead and put it in the chat. Let's go to Dennis with a question or two.
Okay. Leos wants to know, I don't know notes with that many ledger lines on Super Mario.
Yeah.
And he says, wait, why are there 3 flats for flute?
Well, it all depends on the song. So for number 3, we put Super Mario Brothers. Now, sometimes when I do these songs for you guys, sometimes I change the key. I think sometimes people do Super Mario Brothers in B flat, which would be but that kind of falls in an awkward range for some of the instruments in the band. So I actually moved this one to a different key. It's called transposing. I put it in E flat. And so it's now, and it just fits better for everyone in the band. So E flat major means 3 flats. That's why it has 3 flats. Now, as far as I know some of these notes get up into ledger lines and challenging notes. And that's why this class, I'm trying to balance between some more advanced stuff that might challenge you, or it might be stuff that you already know. So it's a good opportunity to challenge yourself to learn something new. Okay, Dennis?
Yes. Bexad, what strength reeds do you suggest to use for alto sax? 2.5, 2.75, or 3? And which one is better for jazz? Okay.
I didn't even know they made 2.75 reeds. I know, they usually go in increments of half. But although some companies like Diodario makes 2 hard, 2 soft, 2 medium, 3 soft, medium, and hard. Anyway, it's all personal preference and what works best for you. Most beginners start on a 2.5, sometimes even a 2. I'd say if you can get to a 3, that seems to work well for most people. Some players like harder reeds. Some jazz players like really soft reeds, like 2s or 2.5s. But it also relates to the type of mouthpiece you have and the tip opening, which is the space between the reed and the mouthpiece tip. So you just have to go by trial and error experimentation. If you're having trouble, if you're having trouble keeping notes from cracking and sounding really like flat, that means means you need a stronger reed. If you have a really stuffy sound that's kind of like not bright enough, you probably want to go for a softer reed. Okay, let's do one more. We're gonna take. Actually, I don't know, Den, if you've been keeping track of any new shout-outs, but if we have any of those,
do.
All right, we're gonna have Dennis do a couple more shout-outs. Meanwhile, I want you guys to go to America the Beautiful. Scroll down on our main advanced band page, Livestream Advanced Band. Go down to. Let me show you. Go down to concert band piece, America the Beautiful. We're going to try that in a few minutes. You're going to click on that link, and it takes you to all the sheet music that you need. Okay, so Mr. Dennis, shout out.
Yes, we have one teacher, Mrs. Schroeder, is in the house.
Okay.
She's from Wisconsin. We have Shoemaker High School, Jackson Street Middle School, Port Reading Elementary, and Chester East Lincoln.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Can you repeat those last two?
Yes, Port Reading Elementary and Chester East Lincoln.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome to all those folks, especially the teachers. I really appreciate you guys being here. One of the coolest things about having teachers in the chat is I always appreciate when you all can check in and answer questions that I might not be able to get to. If someone's confused about what we're doing, I can keep up with the chat for the most part, but sometimes there's a delay and I can't always see everything. So thank you, teachers in the chat. And if there's experienced students in the chat or anyone who can answer a question, go ahead and answer one of your fellow viewers' questions in the chat. It's always helpful. All right. America the Beautiful. I'm really excited about this. This is a really, most of us have heard this song. It's a very beautiful song. And this is a really great arrangement that was very kindly granted to us to use during our live stream. Mr. DeStefano is a band director in Skokie, Illinois, McCracken Middle School. And he has this great arrangement, and I asked him for permission to use it on our live stream, and he said yes. So what you're going to do, guys, is click on your instrument, of course. We have all of our instruments here. If you're a percussionist, you have a choice between snare and bass drum part, or you could do a cymbals and triangle part. Hey, if you guys don't have an instrument, you could try to play the snare drum part with, whatever you have to drum on at home. So there's all kinds of things you can do. I'm going to give you guys time to click on that, and I'm going to show you, again, I'm going to show you the score, which is what your conductor looks at. All right. This is what your conductor looks at. Okay. We can see all the parts. And so if we look here at the beginning, we have flute up at the top and then crash cymbals down at the bottom. That is the entire band. Some members of the band are placed on the same staff, like clarinet 1 and 2 are on the same staff, and they split off like that. The French horn and the tenor sax have the same part. They're on the same staff. All of our low brass, tubas, and everything. I see no name in all caps in the chat has said play flute. All right, I'll show you some flute. But let's listen and see how each part comes in, everybody. This is such a nice arrangement. I'm going to place on the website, I want to show you, there is a play-along track you can now download. You can do a version that has a click track with it and a version that doesn't have a click track with it, depending on what you want to do. We're going to listen and follow along with our click track. Here we go. And if you have your instrument, you can actually try to do the notes, okay? And I see Next Level Ukulele has requested trumpet. I can play some trumpet today. And okay, I'm looking in the chat. Sorry, I'm distracted here. Mike Hamilton says he has not heard this song in Scotland. Well, Mike and Bexod has asked, is America the Beautiful an anthem of America? So it's not our national anthem. Our national anthem, right? America the Beautiful is probably, along with God Bless America, is probably considered almost our secondary national anthem, or My Country 'Tis of Thee also. But this song, right? Very pretty song. Let's follow along on the score, and let's listen. Here we go. We'll listen to the first couple of sections. 1, 2. You can play along if you want. 1, 2, drums, start. Here comes our low brass. And our upper voices. Whoop, sorry about that. Here's the melody, flutes. Low brass comes in. Here come our trumpets and saxophones. Ready, play. Saxes and horns. So, nice. Oh, it's such a beautiful arrangement. And I really encourage you guys to listen to the full thing and try to play along with it. I had a request for flute and trumpet. So I'm going to show our flutes how your part goes at pickups to measure 10. So this is what measure 10 sounds like in our flutes. Let me show you the flute music. All right, flutes. Measure 10. We go like this. Starting right here, we go 1, 2, 3. There's our flute part. Okay, so it's the melody, obviously. Let's go check out our trumpet part. Can I play trumpet 1? Oh, it gets a little bit high for me. But let's try it. Where's my trumpet? Okay, so if you are lost, I see Kimberly H.E. Says, I'm lost. If you are lost, it's okay if you can't keep up with playing the song. Just take your time, follow along, see if you can just at least keep track of what measure we're in. Trumpets have this nice part at measure 30. You have the melody. Ba, ba. Oof, okay, so I don't play trumpet every day. That's why I don't always have a nice warm-up going. So why don't we, what I want to try is next week, guys, I want you to, during this week, I want you to try to play your part for this song and use the play-along track right here. The play-along track, if you go to the site we were just on, you can go to a play-along track with a click track, or you can skip and do play-along track with no click. Okay? And that's what I want you to practice this week, America the Beautiful, along with whatever else you're practicing. Before we wrap up today, to wrap up today, I want to do question of the day. So let me find my question of the day. Let me remind you that if you want to have a question or a shout out, you can tweet at me or follow me on Instagram, and I will give you a special shout out. And Dennis, are there any questions I should get to?
Yes, there are. There's actually a couple of them here, Steve.
Yes.
Leos wants to know what flute do you have, and what temperature of water is that in your reed cup. That's from Laura Dolea.
Okay. So my flute is a Powell. What is it called? It's a Powell. A Sonari. Yeah. A PS 601. It's kind of it's not quite a professional level, but it's a like an intermediate model. The temperature of the water, I use the cold water tap, but it doesn't have to be freezing cold. It's just room temperature, basically. Okay, next.
Okay, this is a combination of things that maybe you can handle all in one thing.
Okay.
This is level ukulele. Could you ask Doc if it will be streaming any of these classes when schools return? And along with that, Colorfly Girl, will you be doing this every week? I was just sent a link here. If so, I would like to let my students know because this is awesome.
Hey, thank you. Compliments will get you everywhere, right? So do you know the name of the person that is the teacher that made that last comment?
Her name's Colorfly Girl.
Colorfly Girl. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm going to show you. There we go. We're already up there on the iPad. So this is the schedule I've been doing, and folks, I guess for about, Dennis, I don't know how long it's been that I've been doing a Sunday show. 6 months? I don't know.
More than that.
More than that, yeah. But as we've all entered this period where we're all at home a lot more, I increased my live stream schedule just to hopefully give you guys something to do, something to play. It's always fun to see everybody on here, answer your questions. So here's my schedule, as you can see. Mondays, they're all 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is where I live on the eastern part of the United States. Beginner band on Mondays, and that's geared towards students who are maybe only been playing a year or two. But even if you've been playing a little bit longer than that, a lot of the stuff we cover is good basic stuff to review. Okay, Wednesdays is advanced band. That's right now. This is for people who have been playing for a couple of years, or again, I give a challenging, hopefully to people even who are in high school or beyond. It gives you a little bit of a challenge. Fridays is jazz. We do jazz improv. We have special guests. I don't think we're going to have a special guest this Friday, but we have a very special guest coming up maybe next week. I will announce that. And Sundays, we do kind of a free-for-all. Ask me questions, make requests for new videos, things like that. Okay, so let's do question of the day, and if there's any shout-outs.
There's one more, Steve, question but from Harmony Hodge.
So while I'm answering that, Den, I'm going to put up the question of the week. But go ahead.
Okay.
Question of the week,
right.
Answer in the chat while I answer this question.
All right. After this, do you have how to play Star-Spangled Banner? I need to learn it for a concert.
Okay.
You have that as part of your videos?
I don't have a specific video on the Star-Spangled Banner. It depends. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe that'd be a good video to do. I have a beginner band arrangement on my website, which is arranged out for full band. But the thing about those is not everyone in the band has the melody. Most people, when they ask to play the national anthem, they all want to play the melody. And depending on your ability level, meaning how long you've been playing, the Star-Spangled Banner actually is one of the harder songs to play because it has a big range. It goes all the way from here to there. That's an octave and a fifth. So that's something I'll put high on my list to do a Star-Spangled Banner tutorial. Okay. Let's do another question, and then I'm going to do shout-outs for people who are answering the question of the day. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. How can I remember certain notes with ledger lines for the flute?
Okay. The ledger line question. We talked a little bit about this. We talked about this last time, too. Ledger lines, it's just slow and steady. Memorize them one at a time. Start with one ledger line. And it helps to think of your alphabet. Okay? Notes of the lines and spaces. Let me see if I can find my little teaching tool here. This'll do it. Okay. So if you look here, you've got your musical alphabet. it goes up space line D, E, F, G, and then starts over A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Well, then you go one ledger line, that's going to be A. Then above it is a B. So you have to kind of just take your time and count up your musical alphabet. Okay, let's do shout outs of the question of the day. And I know I asked this question beginner band too. So let's see. Eric Heineman says music. Mike Hamilton, will I do a blues class anytime? Yeah, I mean, we do blues in our jazz class, blues style of jazz. I don't know if I'm going to do a straight up traditional blues class, but a lot of the stuff we learn on our blues in our jazz class is applicable to a classic blues style. Jason, again, is practicing social distancing. Good job. Ilias is practicing a minuet in B by Bach. Laura Delia says, thank you for the tips today. Great teaching. Thank you. Next level ukulele, CG trumpet. I guess that's what you're practicing. Bexad is doing Fer-Elise, Imperial March from Star Wars. Okay. Saints Go. Juliana is requesting Saints Go Marching In for beginner band. We can do that. Jessica D'Ambrosio is practicing Fairling Etude number 2. Very impressive. I'm very impressed. That's a very challenging piece. Good job. Samantha is practicing America the Beautiful. Applause. You heard me ask you guys to practice that this week. Some songs from band class. Paige Turner said that too. Gamester is working on the Sight Student Concerto, Opus 4, number 15. Minuet by Bach. Improv. Oh, Rico is doing improv over Black Orpheus. Right? Is that Black Orpheus? Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do that in jazz class. That's a great song. Jessica says I'm a teacher. Haha. Okay, good for you. And Mr. Cernoble has been requesting Clear Sky Bandit Radio. I'll have to look that one up, Mr. Cernoble. I don't really know that one. All right, here's what I want to do, because we're up at the end of our class. I'm going to do some real quick shout-outs, as many people as I can see. And maybe it's always fun to actually tell me what state you're watching from or what country. I always like to do that. So I'll do as many shout-outs as I can. While we're doing that, let's all say thank you to Dennis. And thank you, Dennis, for another great show.
Thank you very much for letting me do it.
Yeah, and to Joe and Terry in the chat, who are always helping us out. And I want to say thank you to all of you out there. This has been a great chat room. A lot of productive questions and helping each other out, and a lot of positivity. It's really nice. I'm looking for my shout outs for where you're watching from. And there's like a 25-second delay, so that's why we have a little bit of a delay. Juliana Jackson is practicing piccolo. Tim Dignan is asking someone else's question. K-Vet says thank you. Natalia Bradley's watching from Pennsylvania. Thank you to Next Level Ukulele. Ilyas is watching in the UK. Panda DiGello is asking me to play Star Wars. I get that request a lot. Let me grab my clarinet. Jennifer Martinez is in Canada. Mike Hamilton is in Edinburgh, Scotland. Our friend Mike Hamilton. Samantha's practicing African Adventure. Oh, here they come. Bexad is in Canada, Ontario. Mike Ramirez Rivera. Sorry, Mike, is practicing a song. Juliana Jackson is in Texas. Panda DiGello says thank you. Gamester says thanks, Dennis. Olivia says I'm a student from Houghton Lake High School in Michigan. So hello to all of you and all your fellow students in Michigan. Fuzzy Studios, thank you. Bella Dangle is in Texas. Colorfly Girls in Ottawa. I'll do quick requests if I see one that I can play. Rico, I got Rico. Marissa, I'm sorry, it is ending. We're going to go an hour today. That's a nice, solid class. Thank you, Mr. Dignan, Drew Freeman Middle School. Judith, thank you, Judith. It's going to take me a while to get to 1 million subscribers. It's been like 8 years and I'm at 250K. But thank you. Ellie is in Sweden. Hi, Ellie. Ellie, that's my niece's name. So I have a very, I'm partial to that name. Okay, guys. So, Pink Panther. All right, Mike. Mike Hamilton plays alto sax. I'll play alto sax. Yeah, I'll do it in this key. I'll shorten it. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Final goodbyes to Dennis and our folks in the chat. Thank you so much for another great session. It's been awesome. And please remember that we have class Friday, jazz, and Sunday, Ask Me Anything. Okay? So until then, everybody, thank you very much. Have a great couple of days or whenever I see you next. And please tune in again. All right, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Got a lot of kudos today.
Absolutely.